I'd be willing to bet that more pounds of ground venison go into making chili than any other single wild game recipe. When I was growing up, we ate venison chili almost once a week in the winter, and it was a version that we kind of jokingly now refer to as Midwest mom chili. So a pretty benign, mild chili that I loved every bowl of, don't get me wrong. But the one I'm going to show you now is kind of more sophisticated, more flavorful. It has chipotle, poblanos, and chunky pieces of tomato. This is a great recipe for your deer this winter. The first step here is to brown up the ground meat, and we're using 2 1/4 pounds of ground meat. And then you're going to want to season it with salt and pepper. As far as how much salt and pepper, just imagine that you're trying to make this pan of brown meat good enough that you take a bite of it right now and eat it. Set the browned meat aside in a bowl. Add 2 more tablespoons of oil, and then put in your poblanos and the onions. You're going to want to cook your peppers and onions around 6 to 10 minutes. What'll happen is the peppers will start to soften up, the onions will begin to turn translucent, they'll get a little brown around the edges, and then you move on to your next step of adding in your garlic and saute that for another minute. Add in some oregano, cumin, and chili powder. And then stir that all in very well. Add the tomatoes. Start giving that a coarse chop with your spatula. And chipotle. Transfer all this to your slow cooker, then combine your remaining ingredients, the beans and stock, and the browned meat. Set the temp to low and let it simmer for a couple hours.